Hi, fabulous Taurus. This is your July 2019 reading. What's ahead? I hope you've all been well, and I hope June treated you very nicely indeed. We've gone so fast during the year, through the year already. It's quite incredible. Thank you to everybody for your support on my channel, for liking, subscribing, and sharing my channel. It has been amazing. For without you, I really couldn't have done it. So many blessings to you all. I'm truly, truly grateful for it. It should be interesting. It is a general reading, Taurus, so please take what you need and discard the rest, as it won't resonate with everybody, because it's impossible to resonate with everybody, but there's no doubt that it'll resonate with a few of you. So let's have a look without further ado for Taurus, July 2019. Overarching energy here. Now, you've got the Two of Pentacles coming up. So if we're looking at, because it's an overarching energy at this point in time, let's having a look that you need perhaps some balance. Maybe you needed to balance your financial income. Maybe you had to balance the actual finances themselves. Maybe you've had to make some quite a few big decisions about the fact of balancing your own energies, and maybe it had to be, making decisions about your love life too. I do feel that when it does come down to this card though, it is an indication that you've had to juggle something in your life, your emotions. So I'm actually saying here that maybe your emotions had to be juggled. Maybe you had to make that decision. So let's have a look further. Hopefully you can see that. Let's have a look further. A few cards. Okay, so we've got the Three of Wands coming. We have got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Eight of Swords, and we have the Death card. Beautiful cards to start off with, so let's have a little bit of a look. The Three of Wands. Now, finally, you've got something that perhaps you've started here. Maybe you've started a project. Maybe you've started a new job. This is an infancy of something, but it's actually your ships are now coming in. So you maybe have started to see some results of your decisions that you've had to make. So quite interesting that this is coming up. So I like this card saying that, you've been patient. It is coming in. So it is a good time now to keep going. So a brilliant card. The threes are also the card of expansion as well. So expanding your horizons too with your job prospects, or expanding your view. This card here, the Knight of Swords, comes rushing in. It's a very, very fast communicative pace with this. So you may have had to do some fast talking. Excuse me. May have had to do some fast talking to be able to, get some help balancing the finances, get some help with your work. This is somebody rushing in. And you could be dealing with an air sign too, which is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So you may have these energies where you feel like you're in a hurry as well. It is about the mental strain perhaps that you've had in your head. Maybe there's a lot going on. Maybe you are in a hurry to achieve results. So going on to the Eight of Swords, excuse me, obviously need to communicate with you guys too. The Eight of Swords indicates that there is quite a lot of stuff going up in your head at this point in time. You're thinking about a lot of things. Maybe you've had to communicate quite a bit to find out where you're going, to find out the nitty gritty. It could be to do with communicating about your emotions, communicating about your finances, communicating about your work. But I do feel here that you may feel you may have felt that you're quite trapped and that you can't get out of a position. Maybe you can't get out of, it's not necessarily legal bindings or anything like that, but maybe you've had to, sign something, or perhaps had a little bit of a contract, say even with your electricity provider or something like that. And maybe you've had to do some, talking, communicating with you to try and help budget the finances too. So there's a lot of stuff going on in your head at the moment, and that could be quite stressy. So a lot of stuff. With the Death card coming in though, it does say that there's changes, rebirths, transformations too. It does say that there's a change to a situation. Now, when a major arcana comes in like this, you could be dealing with a Scorpio too. when a major arcana card comes up like this, it means that this is a pivotal point in time. This is a major event happening. So there is a lot of change coming in for you, a lot of transformation. Things had to end. So it may be the end to all that mental strain that you're going through. Maybe it's the end to stress. So this looks actually quite good as well. We're going to lay a few more cards. So we've got the Chariot coming through. We have got the Empress coming through. We've got the Hanged Man. We have the Five of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Swords. It's not necessarily a bad thing too, by the way. So let's have a look at the next one. So again, we've got this rushing energy. We also have the decisions being the two Sphinxes that are coming here. So maybe all of this up in your head, all these changes up in your head. Now there's changes coming in to those stresses and strains that you've got up in your head, and maybe it is now pushing through. So this is fantastic. So we're looking at pushing through all of the mental strain that you've had going on, perhaps, or a lot of communication that you've had to do, maybe regarding your work too as well. But it could have, I still feel that there is a lot of emotions, even though we haven't got many cups here, that you've had to talk about and you've had to discuss. So because of the Two of Pentacles that we had up here. The Empress comes through. Now, this is a beautiful card. The Empress, when she comes through, she's saying it's the birth of a new project. So you may have found that there's also can mean a pregnancy too, by the way. I don't do pregnancy or health readings, but it could denote that maybe you found out some news that you are pregnant. Okay, so congratulations if you are. And here with the Empress coming in, it could mean that there's a birth of something new actually coming in after some much discussion. Okay, so your ships may be coming in, so the birth of, starting something new here. So lots of communication, but there are changes coming about here. So maybe there's been a lot of changes in your work arena that's coming through, and now here's a big transformations, which is also rushing in to provide you with something a little bit more loving, nurturing, feels good. So this still is in your infancy, but you could be talking about something starting, perhaps a project that is in conjunction with what you've got, what is going on here for you. It may be like an added extra that you're trying to put towards your job so that it will help bring in the money. Because the Empress does indicate making things more luxurious too. So maybe you're adding something to your work or have been thinking about a creative project to make changes to bring in the better money cycle here. So the Hanged Man comes in here saying, maybe you've waited a hell of a long time for this. Maybe you needed to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe you've got some clarity that came through. And I do believe as well, because we've got the swords here too, that there may have been quite a lot of clarity needed to come about, and now it's coming in. Clarity on a situation, waiting patiently too. It's not sitting back and doing nothing about it, but maybe you have to wait on the results. So there could be some good results if you're patient about the fruits of your labor coming in here. The Five of Cups indicates perhaps you're feeling emotionally discontent, sad about the fact that maybe you had to let something go, or the fact is that maybe you missed something here in the background here when we're talking about all this. Maybe you've got clarity on what you needed to do to be able to get to this stage, and maybe feeling that way inclined in the past has now actually given you the clarity that you need with the Ace of Swords, because that's a very victorious card here. It's saying that you are victorious over your problems, your issues, your sadness, that you're getting over that, which is great. This is an absolutely wonderful time ahead for you. So you've really got some clarity by communicating. This could have been about juggling some ideas, some of your emotions, having to sort that out. So this is really good victory over that. The Three of Swords comes in. Now, it's not a normally, I don't look at it as a bad card. What it says here to me, this is the darkest hour before the dawn. So Look out for new changes that are coming in that are better. I'm going to put a couple of clarifiers down there just to give you a bit more insight here to this last card, but it says darkest hour before the dawn. So you know things are going to get better, and they are going to get better, because this is good. Maybe you had to go through this. Some of us, you know, we learn a lot from talking to other people, and we learn a lot from the fact that you have to go through these things to be able to see clearly. And communicating with other people is quite important. Sometimes we forget the art of communication and how to involve, you know, to get another's perspective on it to help us see clarity. So let's have a look here. I'm going to clarify the most probable likely outcome here of the Three of Swords. Look at that. The Justice card comes out. The Justice card says that everything's going to be working in your favour. There's lots of good news when it does come out here. So you may be even signing contracts. So maybe you were stressing over the fact that you had to juggle around a couple of different ideas to improve perhaps even your financial state, your emotional state. I know it would have been quite emotional for you, but maybe it is saying that signing of contracts, the legal stuff is coming out in your favor. This is looking really good. So it is a beautiful end. It is the end to the heartache, the heavy weights on your back, the burdens. So this is a very nice outcome. And even though that you probably couldn't see it happening, you can always get out of that situation. It's quite interesting. Here we've got the same cards. So you can always get out of that situation, take yourself out of that stress, that mental strain, because the King of Swords comes out and says, now you're standing in your power. Now you're cutting through it. You're going to be a lot clearer. You're going to, it's like saying not putting up with crap. It's a bit like the Queen of Swords here, saying that you're not going to be putting up with crap. You're going to be communicating clearer, and you'll probably see a lot clearer too. So again, the Swords comes in and says, you're talking about it, you're discussing it, you're communicating. But here, you're very wise, you've learnt, and now you're coming out, and now you're in your power. This looks great, a good ending to what could have been perhaps a little bit of a stressy month for you. It is about taking care of yourself, but please know the changes are coming through to see that things are coming through quite swiftly, better. Things are going to turn out better, and you've received clarity from it, from an emotional situation that kept you in the stress. You may have had to juggle quite a fair bit of the finances. You may have had to juggle your emotions here too, because here we're talking a little bit about work here as well. Coming into it, your ships are coming in, the way that you're seeing things. So now it's coming out. Things are looking up. They are going to work in your favour. The end of the heavy burdens and the end of the mental strain that's coming out. I do like this spread for you, Taurus. So it is about getting real clarity, because there is going to be good news ahead, definitely, when it comes to a lot of the things that you're working out here. Try not to stress about it too much, because let those changes happen. They needed to come in. Something wasn't working, so it had to have an end to it, an end to the stress, so that new stuff can come in. Please know it is looking up, and it is going to work out in your favour. Well done, Taurus, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.